Yeah, listen, Joe's a work in progress. I mean, if you're talking about Rothwell, goodness me, you know, he can do some wonderful things, and then he drives me mad. He's like a little boy out there sometimes. That's pretty harsh to say that on the radio to you, but he's got a long way to go to be the footballer we want him to be, and yet he has amazing attributes and talent, but just doing it in flashes isn't enough.
Plenty of shocks and surprises in the squad that headed away to Hillsborough to take on Sheffield Wednesday, including a start, that's right, a start for Joe Rothwell. But it wasn't good enough, folks. We ended up on the bad side of a 6-goal thriller. We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another match review, this time looking forward. Or back at the old 6-goal thriller, 4-2 loss against Sheffield Wednesday. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Give you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now let's jump into the thick of things and tell you a bit more about the match that took place at Hillsborough. Rovers on the back of a sorry 6-goal for a 4-2 loss. 24,608 people were in attendance to watch this end-to-end match, I would say. Rovers goals coming courtesy of Craig Conway in the 72nd minute and Elliott, Bennett, 2 veteran players, I guess, on the for Rovers. But the goals for Sheffield Wednesday coming in the 10th minute. Fletcher, a goal that's been done over and over and over against us this season. That an opposition attack down the sides, an easy balls flinged across, low ball, someone's on the end of it, punked it on home, and that's how we seem to concede a lot of our goals. So that was the first. The second, Nuhu, the Gigantor substitute coming on the bench, off the bench in the second half, headed home a set piece. Iorfa, also another big tall fella, bundled home the ball. The third goal, again from a set piece. I think it was a corner this time. And Matthias, another substitute, coming on and scoring the fourth goal. As for the possession, we dominated possession, 58% compared to 42%. Possession for Sheffield Wednesday. We also had better success rate with our passing. 80% of our passes hit the intended target. They had more shots, 10 to our 8. We'll look at those in a second. Well, not really, but we'll go over them in a minute. Tackles, we threw more tackles in as well. They had more of the aerial battles won. And we also had some more corners than they did. 3-2-2. Quick look at the starting 11s. First and foremost, Sheffield Wednesday. Luna's in the background. She is getting all excited again. Wait until I give you some juicy info. Westwood was in goal. Palmer, Hector, Lees, and Iorfa at right back. Aarons, Bannon, Hutchison, and Reach in a 4-man midfield. Winnell and Fletcher up top. As for Rovers, we opted for this new adapted sort of formation. 3 at the back, 4 in midfield, and 3 up top. And to be honest with you, we played pretty good football at times. Just our defence needs a complete and utter facelift. If you're a Rovers defender right now, you must be thinking, hang on a minute. I'm probably going to be looking for a new job pretty soon. Or at least we can add to it. We could maybe keep some of the defenders, but we definitely need to add some quality. Anyway, Raya, Williams, Maguilore in the middle there, hasn't got a picture. Nyambe, Bennett, Evans, Travis, and Reed, Rothwell, Graham, and Dak. And yes, Rothwell did get a start, and he looked very, very busy. Andy, but he did get a bit of a lick round the ears by the sounds of it by Tony Murray. We'll listen to him in a second. Quick look at my match ratings. Well, my man of the match was Joe Rothwell with a 7. I just thought he livened up the place, but we'll talk about the rest here. Rye with a 4, Williams with a 4, McIlroy with a 5, Naomi with a 5, Bennett with a 6 because of the goal, 5 for Evans, 6 for Travis, 5 for Reed, 7 for Rothwell, 6 for Graham, and 6 for Dak. Dak did look lively. Graham was his usual strong self, keeping things moving and ticking a bomb. Yeah, as for Rothwell, he was buzzing and moving and kept things going, created a lot of stuff. And it was like having 2 Daks on the field. I said this is my instant match review. Dak does what he does further up the field. Joe was running and keeping things moving and came up with some exquisite passes, but ultimately it was to little or no avail. Quick look at some more stats and stuff here for you. We also had more passes than Sheffield Wednesday did, 531 to their 369. We also had more touches, 718 to their 545. What else? Shots on target. How do I read this? Shots on target. Well, you could decipher that yourself down the bottom there. I think we had well, 2. We had 4 shots on target, 2 in the back of the net. They had 4 shots on target, and guess what? All 4 went in the back of the net. So yeah, decipher what you will. Finger points to Raya, perhaps. Didn't make a single save, or a worthy save, should I say. Even Adam Reach had a bit of a long-range effort, but it didn't amount to anything. Quick look at the heat maps, man. If you're a heat map man just like me, as you can see, Rovers busy at the back, the final third, or our defensive third, should I say. So the defence / some of the midfield saw a lot of the ball. Looked like Westwood was the busier of the two keepers. Big old red hot spot where the goalkeeper lies. But yes, I to be honest with you, usually or earlier in the season, a defeat like this would hit me sideways. But I think after the win against Wigan, I think I'm already in holiday mood. I think I just want this season to be done with. I'm looking forward to the new transfer window. I want to see what Rovers, if Mowbray is got something up his sleeve, because we need. Yes, it's all nice and well and good if we keep Dak and have some of the creative zing that we did today, but we need to improve that defence big time. I think if we could do that, we could be a decent team. Obviously, I still think there's other areas of the field that need strengthening as well, but defence should be our number one priority. We are losing games quite heavily. So we get some big score lines against us, but we are scoring goals, which shows that we're creating, we're buzzing, we're moving. Some parts of our game are working, but ultimately the defence is, for want of another word, ass. It's completely ass. Yeah, we need. So if you're, like I said before, if you're a defender at Rovers, you've got to be looking over your shoulder and thinking, I'm on borrowed time here. Either I need to step up, or I'm going to be out the door, either playing League One football or something, because some things need to go. Just to think, Amari Bell. He wasn't playing today, but he was linked before we bought him for Cardiff in the Premier League. He didn't go there. He went to Rovers, and the rest is history, should I say. Anyway, you've heard a little bit of what I've had to say about the match. What did the Gaffa have to say? He had some harsh words for some folks out there. Let's take a little listen.
Well, another defeat under our belt. Very disappointed. Listen, the faults are there. You can see the faults. I can see the faults. Is it three? I don't know. All four might have been crosses in the box, but lack of physicality in our team today, and that was what stood out to me. I thought there was lots of good play, lots of build-up play, move the ball around well. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to defend, and we obviously didn't have the personnel to defend well enough today against a physical, experienced strike force. Listen, it is. Let's just take it for what it is. We are pretty weak at the back today, physically against Steve Fletcher, who I've known for 15 years or something like that. He's he's an international footballer, and obviously big and he comes on and heads the ball in. It's like boys against men, really, physically, is what I would say. And yet I thought there was lots of positives with the ball. I thought we looked a decent football team. And the positives that we'll have to take from that is that we will get better when we get the right players in, and we become a physical unit as well as a decent football team. But at this moment, we're just, without three or four central defenders at the moment, it's tough. Listen, it doesn't matter to me. I think what matters is that we are just a bit short in an area at the moment that we will hopefully strengthen by the start of the next game after the international break. As I said, I thought we looked a decent football team for long spells of that game, and yet simple crosses into the box, free headers in the net, and goals change games. Yeah, listen, Joe's a work in progress. If we're talking about Rothwell, goodness me, he can do some wonderful things, and then he drives me mad. He's like a little boy out there sometimes. That's pretty harsh to say that on the radio to you, but he's got a long way to go to be the footballer we want him to be, and yet he has amazing attributes and talent, but just doing it in flashes isn't enough. Well, it is for some injuries to come back. I think it gives us a chance to get some players fit. I think 2 weeks from now, I'd hope Mulgrew, I'd hope Lenihan, I'd hope Rodwell would all be available, and Mari Bell, and they will obviously strengthen us. Well, he doesn't have to impress me on the pitch today. I know what he does. I know his footballing talent. I know what he can do, and he's going to be a good footballer for our club, who plays forward and plays how I want the team to play. And so I'm just happy to give John his debut. Disappointing for the result on his debut, of course, for him, but he just delighted, I think, to get on the pitch, and because I know he's got a big future. Well, I think the team's performance level has been pretty consistent all year. I think people who look at results, it's very easy for people to say, it's been terrible, and I know for a fact it hasn't been terrible. The results have been terrible, of course, but the team hasn't been terrible. There's been practically no drop-off, I would suggest. Lenihan missing has caused problems in an area where we need his power and his ability to go and deal with the first ball. Without him, we haven't had our ability to do that. But I think the team's performance level has been pretty consistent all year. They work really hard for each other. And yet we're suffering in one particular area of the pitch at the moment. As I said today, I think that with the ball, I think this team moved it around well, give them plenty of problems. I think we let them off the hook, really, I'd have to say, by the nature of their goals, because I think they felt the quality at times around us, that in the forward areas of the pitch we could open them up, but didn't punish them enough. Final pass again, like we've talked about recent weeks, really. At this moment it's both boxes, and they're not good enough in both boxes at the moment. No, well, Evans has picked up a knock today, so whether he goes away, we'll wait and see, let them assess him, but Mulgrew won't be going anywhere. No, he needs to get fit and ready for the next game. Well, not if they're injured, they won't be. No, they'll be getting themselves fit and ready for the next game. Players who played a lot of football will have a few days off, but then it's training next week, and from next Monday we get a normal week into the next game.
I've heard what the Gaffers had to say, and you've heard a little bit what I've had to say. What did the fans say on social media? Let's kick it off with Twitter. Mike Delap said this: Travis and Buckley, John Buckley, youngster, coming off the bench for Rovers to make his debut. Buckley were also very bright and got forward to join attacks with inventive movement. The future is very bright with them. Quite why they should be behind Evans and Smallwood in any pecking order is completely beyond me. Talk of Ewood said this: big praise to John Buckley today. Come on in difficult circumstances and didn't really look out of place. Produced some great touches and at times wasn't afraid to put in a tackle. Looking forward to seeing getting some more first team action before the season finishes. Matt Stilto said this: not the worst attacking performance of the season, but Rovers' defensive woes continue. Got to give ourselves an opportunity of winning, but not being so anxious defensively. In other news, happy to see our own products getting a run out. Thought both McGlory and Buckley did very well. Justin Maxwell said this: although defeated, there was an impressive debut for young John Buckley at Rovers today. Calm, composed, industrious midfielder, one for the future, I say. BRFCS.com said this: upon reflection, we haven't got a defence for various reasons, which we know, and today that cost us dearly. Thought Dak was positive, Rothwell bright and energetic, but the final ball was a little woeful. Now, over on the BRFCS.com forum, not everybody's in dull so chipper mood. Tom Phil said this: Raya is supposed to be the highly rated young keeper, except really he is only highly rated by a handful who watched him in our development squad, and that when they weren't all that good. So it didn't take much to stand out. Still young and learning on the job. Something else that adds to make this team so weak at the back. However, he lacks all the basic good fundamentals that make a young, highly good goalkeeper, apart from cat-like reflexes, and that doesn't on his own. David James was highly rated as a youngster, and he stood out a mile, but he didn't make these kind of bi-weekly gaffes, nor did Hart. They just got exposed at the top level. All those times training with Steele seem to have left their mark. This lad, no better than Clint was. Bloody hell. That was a bit of hard reading. Maybe it was my eyes. Neil Yardley on comms summed it up. The Rovers set up perfectly for me. When Rothwell got taken out by a horrendous tackle, our players didn't bat an eyelid and just ambled back into position. Yardley, most slight... Luna's going nuts. Most sides would have been backing up their teammate, getting in his face. Far too soft, this lot. Follows on from the naive nonsense kicking the ball out last week. This is pro football and we are in a relentless league. Need to get real. Meanwhile, Rovers fan 99, I'll be sending you some advertising space here with this old post. Only watched the second half, although I have seen the first goal too. Mowbray will point to the fact that we have defensive injuries, but he's orchestrated us into a situation where we only have two very injury-prone centre-backs to begin with. He signed a midfielder as an alternative to Bauer, who almost exclusively looked out of position playing at centre-back. He let Downing go, a competent League One defender, possibly no more, because he was fifth choice in Mowbray's mind. If that was the case, fair enough. If he thinks as a centre-back, Downing, who's actually winning to head a ball, is worse than Williams and Rodwell, then he's talking out his arse. To compound matters, Mowbray doesn't understand the versatility. Is all well and good, but you can't play a player in two positions at once. Williams is our probably second choice left back. All the while, he has a £7 million striker who he dropped into the reserves to get his confidence up and has not played a minute since. His recruitment this season simply cannot be defended. This defensive mess we see at the moment has probably put down to injuries, but it's down to him. Ultimately, McGlory is nowhere near up to it. He's been thrown in miles above his level and he can't head a ball. Shouldn't be anywhere near the first team. Williams is much more experienced, but equally hapless, an absolute coward of a defender. Raya is nowhere near good enough. He's edging towards Jake Keane levels of being out of his depth and costing us directly on almost a weekly basis. Mowbray's words the other week have proven to be hollow and empty ones. Bennett was okay, finally scored a bloody goal, but he's never a left back in a million years. Nyembe cannot head a ball either. As part of a settled back four, I'd suggest he would be fine. Evans, though, I thought had a shocker, and Reed may as well be not bothered. Armstrong didn't look like he could be arsed when he came on either, and Dak had a frustrating day, but super footwork for the second. Positives, Rothwell was at times frustrating, but ultimately constantly trying to create a goal, scoring opportunities, which he did for us, for our first. He should be given a run of games. Thought Travis was okay. Buckley looked very composed, albeit he is as soft as shit, and showed his naivety when letting them counter at one point, but technically looked very good, able and promising. Meanwhile, more on the BRFCS.com forum. Rob of the Rovers, 82. Raya definitely needs dropped. His confidence totally shot since he got injured. Tony really needs to spend most of his budget on defence in summer because it's a mess. Do any of you trust Tony to make the correct signings we need in the summer? Because I can't see it all, sadly. Don said this, honourable mention to Rothwell and Buckley. However, the 4 goals conceded were so horrifically, depressingly bad, I can't be asked to comment on anything else. A change is required. At least our next away game will with us having conceded the most away goals out of all 92 is only away at Villa. They only won their last 4 on the bounce. Meanwhile, wing wizard Windy Miller said this: we've had struggled aerially against Wednesday with our normal back 4. Today was just par for the course. Expected us to lose, and we did it the normal fashion. Not even upset tonight. Moved back into apathetic mode. Good luck shifting season tickets, Mr. Waggett. Perhaps you'll tell us how genuinely exciting our summer signings will be. Oh, you did that last year. I noticed Sheffield Wednesday already had their early bird deal out. Meanwhile, Blue Boy 33333 said this: what will he blame today? The sunshine, the moonlight, good times, or the boogie? Some comical moves there. Gaffa Somerset said this: noticed the TM's latest player dig was at Rothwell. Radio Lank's interview post-match. Not for his performance today, but still, why the heck did he need to give him a public rollicking when he was probably our best player today? So that's now Raya and Rothwell, while all other likes of Dell, Williams keep getting a pat on the back. Meanwhile, Rovers fan 99. Whilst Mowbray hides behind his defensive injuries and mentions players coming back, it's important to remember that we had the same debate a couple of weeks ago with 2 of his 3 injured centre-backs in Rodwell Mulgrew also proved incapable of defending crosses. His recruitment with over 12 million and 4 windows has left us still with 1 defender capable of heading a ball. Unacceptable. And Rigger said this: I quite like the way we are trying to play, but the defence has to be sorted out. We are lucky not to be 3 down at half-time, all coming from poor defending. We will then get back into the game, then again gift them goals. Not even pub-level defending. If Tony Mowbray does not sign 2 centre-halves and 2 full-backs in the summer, questions have to be asked as to his competency. Meanwhile, what else has gone on this week in the old Championship? Well, in the early kickoff on Saturday, Leeds against Sheffield United ended a 1-0 win for Sheffield United to get themselves in the driving seats, in one of the 2 driving seats for the automatic promotion spot. Stoke and Reading held out for a 0-0 draw. Hull and QPR battles for a 2-2 draw. Wigan put 5 past Bolton 5-2 to get themselves back to winning ways. Rotherham slipped up against Norwich. Obviously, Norwich are flying high. West Brom continued there. I think they won both games now under the caretaker manager. Ipswich won, Forest won. Preston continued their amazing run, 1-0 win, and Villa put 3 past Borough. Now, what has that done to the table? Well, let's take a look at it. Norwich are first with 78 points, 4-point lead over Sheffield United, who have a 1-point lead over Leeds. West Brom, Middlesbrough, and Aston Villa occupy the playoff spots. As for the bottom 3, it's Ipswich, Bolton, and Rotherham. Rovers are in 17th. Sheffield Wednesday jump up to 10th. We are 11 points clear of the old drop zone. It's not great. We need to get some more points on the board, preferably with some in the next match, which will be this one up against Aston Villa at Villa Park in 2 weeks' time, roughly on the 30th of March. Other games taking place that weekend. West Brom against Birmingham. That should be a bit fruity game. Leeds against Millwall. Wigan against Brentford. Reading against Preston. Forest against Swansea, Ipswich against Hull, Derby County up against Rotherham, Stoke against Sheffield Wednesday, QPR take on Bolton, struggled as that one, Sheffield United against Bristol, 2 form teams, Middlesbrough against Norwich, also a pretty fruity set of matches. And that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. I'll be back at some form, some capacity over the next 2 weeks. You haven't seen the last of me, folks. A lot of videos on the channel. Make sure you check them all out. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related, all here under one roof. So I ultimately thought we were going to lose this game. Even the cat said so. She said Rovers were going to pick up, Sheffield Wednesday would pick up the big W. The Villa game is something else, and I'm already expecting a bit of a spanking, but I'm hoping we can try and sidestep it and maybe get something out of it. We did beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-2 at Ewood Park. They duly obliged and repeated the favour 4-2 at Hillsborough. So, apples and pears, folks. Keep your chins up. Rovers hopefully shouldn't have too much. As long as we can get to a point where I know we're mathematically safe, then I can sit back and relax for the next few weeks. But anyway, until we get that point, it's still going to be a little bit nervy. But anyway, I'm going to let you get out of it. I'll be back with some more Rovers content pretty soon, I'm sure. But until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.